Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you're watching. Welcome to Bridging the Gap, episode number 49.
49, brother. Seems like just 49 days ago we started.
I remember, speaking of 49, U.S. history, honors U.S. history. It was my favorite class growing up in high school.
I'm impressed.
It was the only one that challenged me.
Okay.
And so we had to write these like definitions in class, and one of them was the 49ers. And I wrote about it, the San Francisco 49ers, but it was actually like the 49th line or something on the longitude, latitude, whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
Something about the rush towards the West Coast.
Oh, yeah, man, yeah, okay.
But they would call the 49ers. But it was funny. I was just playing a joke on my teacher, and he actually wrote "ha ha," laughing on the paper.
So what grade did you get?
Oh, I got an A in that class. You know what challenged me? When I first moved to North Carolina, high school up north in Chicago, where I'm from, you had to apply like college almost. So I was at the second best school in the city. Work was hard. Came down here, was assigned to Dudley. That was the only class I had to do homework for.
I can believe that. I'm a Dudley alumni also.
I made straight A's, but I failed the first test, and I was like, oh man, I got a 69 on the first test. So I was like, I gotta try in this class. And that was the only class that ever like really challenged me. So.
All right, good to hear, man. Good to hear.
And back to the episode, lesson 49. What we talking about today?
And we're going to talk about MJ.
Oh, okay. And now it's two MJs now. You got Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, that's it.
All right.
What school did he go to again? Let me see.
What was his high school in Wilmington?
No, what college did he go to?
I can't remember what high school
he went to. Carolina. That's right. He went to Carolina.
He is from Carolina. You're right.
The greatest guy that ever played a game went to Carolina. Would you admit that?
Yeah, I admit it.
All right, what makes you? What do you admit again? Anyway, lesson 49. We're talking about buying a business on sale.
Okay.
You know, it's amazing when people talk about buying assets on sale. Businesses very seldom come up. They'll talk about buying stocks on sale or those types of things. But as I thought about really Michael Jordan, you know, he's a billionaire now, as you know. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons he's a billionaire is because he bought a business on sale.
Okay.
Like, for example, he quiz you. He bought the Hornets. You know what year he bought the Hornets in?
Whew.
Give you a clue, but more than 10 years ago.
2008? 08?
He bought it in 2010.
2010.
He paid $180 million.
That's it?
Plus debt. That was something, I forget what the debt was. Plus debt, which wasn't a whole lot. Okay? Now, that was back 12 years ago. Okay? $180 million. He bought debt. And the reason why we're going to talk about some today is the fact that he found a motivated seller.
Yeah.
The guy Johnson was wealthy and rich, but he was motivated. But what makes it even sweeter, about 10 years later in September 2019, he broke off a part of the ownership, 20%. He sold it to two investors, and his profit, mind you, at 20% giving up, was $300 million.
Goodness.
That's right now. So in other words, he had 100%, he just sold 20%, and his profit was $300 million.
Wow.
Okay. Again, talking about buying a business that's on sale. And then on top of that, today, the Hornets that he bought for $180 million, plus let's say $120 million in debt, arbitrary number, which he got all that back, plus some when he sold 20%.
Right.
Today, it's worth $1.5 billion. And it's still, and he's only, that's like what, 32 franchises? He's like number 25 in valuation.
Wow.
So the point is that is a prime example that a lot of guys, and probably girls or young ladies too, can understand. He bought it on sale. He sold a part of it off, gave 20% ownership. He still controls it 80%, and it's worth $1.5 billion. That is the example. That is the mindset that I think is good that everybody can relate to.
Wow, that's a huge profit margin.
I agree, man.
Wow.
I agree.
Yeah, I was just reading. I know it's going to apply to you, or me for that matter, but him and LeBron James have an award coming up there competing between their vodkas. Whose vodka's going to win some type of award. So just talking about other businesses he's involved in outside of shoes, the Hornets. He has vodka, probably several other things we don't even know about. But
you're right about that now.
Man.
That's it, yeah. And that's why we say to people, whenever you start a business, don't just start it to make money. Start it within the mindset, I'm going to build it for one or two things. Either one, it's going to be used as a model for an international franchise. In other words, people are going to buy my model from me. That's number one. Or number two, I'm building it to sell. That needs to be the mindset.
Yep.
And either way you do it is you want to build a company, though you may never sell it. You want to build it to sell. I know my first company that Joe and I started, we sold it for about $500,000. And like I said, probably could have got more, but wanted to make sure that the young lady with me had really helped us build it. So I wanted to be fair to her. And we probably might have put in $50,000, and of course some sweat and tears, but we got a lot of money out of it. But if we were able to do that, and we were probably in our early 30s, it's no reason why people can't do it with that mindset.
Agreed,
Okay?
agreed. Now, how do you identify or find a motivated seller of a business?
Okay. Believe it or not, one of the easiest ways is a business broker. There are business brokers out there and many of those are retired CPAs who understand the market. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to find people, one, who want to sell their business, and they're trying to find and get a price that's below market value.
Okay.
Because a lot of times business owners will sell a business, one, because they just want out. I just want out of this thing. I'm getting older. I got grandkids. I have health issues, etc. So business brokers like you do your cold calling with your team and all like that.
Right.
They're business brokers. I've probably had about maybe 7 to call me in 30 years. And so that's one way to do it.
Okay.
And sometimes people are forced to sell to take care of an urgent need. Again, it goes back to trying to find a motivated seller.
Yeah, same thing in real estate.
Very same thing.
Okay.
And then sometimes people are really undervalued. I believe that Mr. Johnson of Johnson & Johnson, sure, he had some pressing needs, but I don't think he really saw the value of the Hornets. And I think one reason is he didn't understand basketball like Michael Jordan did.
Makes sense.
And a lot of people thought Jordan paying $180 million plus his debt. They thought, man, these Hornets that hadn't been to the playoffs in a while, they're losing franchise, etc. But again, he saw an undervalue. Like we teach about finding an undervalued product, or a property. The same thing, finding an undervalued stock, same thing. Or, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It probably was mismanaged too.
And boy, you read my notes, man. I tell you, yeah. But you're right, though. A lot of people don't know how to manage. He didn't know. See, Michael could go in, MJ could go in there. He can speak the athlete's language.
Yeah.
He understands if you're injured, okay, I understand you got a hamstring, been there, done it. Let's talk about the process. Now, one thing he has not done well, the whole coaching part. Just not. Well, I think the coach he had was a good one, though.
Okay.
I can't think of the guy's name he just fired, but I like him. But for whatever reason, as people always say, it hasn't translated from the greatest on the courts. He went to what college again?
Maybe they should have taught him how to pick personnel at Carolina.
Okay, yeah, but they taught him how to become a billionaire, though. So,
yeah, I get.
Okay.
And to be fair to him, his last few moves have been right. Like I think the whole Kemba Walker trade actually bounced out because Kemba has been hurt ever since.
It's true.
Of course, he hit on LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. Like you may could give him some flack on Hayward, but he's hit more than he's missed lately.
Yeah, and at least he's showing improvement.
Accident.
But the thing, though, no matter whether we're talking about $1 billion company or your $100,000 $1 million, it's the same mindset. It's like flipping a property. Yeah. Whether it's a $50,000, if you can still find those things, 150 or $1 million, it's the same formula, and that's what you have to do.
And that's why I think it's important when you start a business, you have I'm reading a book right now. You reread it, the EOS system. Having a system in place to manage the business, because really what you should be able to do almost is take that same system and apply it to any industry.
I agree, man.
And so if you find a mismanaged business, you can literally come in and implement your system, your principles, and get it running back in shape. And it's almost like commercial property to an extent.
Yeah.
The business value is based on the revenue produced.
That's it.
So you operating it better, managing it better can increase the revenue, which of course increases the value.
That's it. And a lot of times, and again, there are different models, but pretty much in a business, a lot is viewed as cash flow. And see, with cash flow taking into account all the expenses, that gives you another win-win, because maybe you're paying too much in marketing and too much in payroll or too much in overhead costs. And think, if you ever watch CNBC, sometimes they'll say that a company increased their revenues by maybe 3 million, but they increased their profits by 5. And you're trying to figure out, how did you do that? Well, some of it could have been cost reduction. And if you can, again, when you're valuing a business, it boils down to positive cash flow. And that's why we say over and over again that cash flow, it's the rocket fuel to build generational wealth, man.
It's amazing. We're on episode 49 and we still making references to cutting Ted.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
That's literally what we just talked about.
There's no doubt about it.
He increased,
no doubt about it.
profits increased 5, but revenue only 3 because they cut Ted by the other 2 million.
That's it. And even though that doesn't sound sexy, the bottom line is cash flow. A lot of people will tell you, I'd rather make $1 million. Well, I'd rather make $1 million as well as cut $1 million from my operation to get $2 million.
Yeah.
Either million I'm happy with. And the great thing about cutting the TED part of it, that's tax free.
Exactly. And it didn't take anything but you managing it properly. Like, you don't have to go make that money again.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
It's almost like reoccurring.
Yep.
And my final thought is the standpoint that a lot of times you can build wealth doing this a couple of ways. Number one, you buy it on sale.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. Sure, MJ did a lot of things to make it positive, but I'm guesstimating that he might have incurred $300 million to buy it, counting the debt, but it was probably worth at least $600 million going in. So automatically he walked in with $300 million, all because he found a motivated seller. That's number thing. Okay? Also, another thing that people do is they liquidate some of the assets at a great price.
Okay.
That Warren Buffett's good at doing that.
Yeah.
And MJ did it too. He came in, he said, okay, I can go ahead. He said, let me literally get this franchise for free. Meaning, let me take 20% and sell and make a $300 million profit. And he paid off his debts.
Right.
So now that's profit. So it's now like saying, I got 80% and the business was free.
So he got 80% and 300 million.
Mm-hmm. That's it, brother. And it's growing in value. And the point is, though, now he literally, the Hornets cost him nothing.
Right.
Cost him not a thing, okay? Also, as he continues to learn how to increase the cash flow, it's going to increase the value. I think Charlotte is on an uptrend.
Yep.
The city's exploding. I think MJ has been there for 12 years. This is a tough business. But the big thing is he's learning, so I think cash flow is going to increase. And finally, just overall appreciation. The way the NBA is becoming even more global.
Yep.
I mean, because they've done a great job in bringing in your generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, look at the All-Star game.
Yeah.
People my age sort of like going, what did he say? Who was that? Whatever. But your generation, like, hey, we understand it. So he's kept us old people, us boomers, I should say, but he's brought in a generation globally.
Yeah, agreed 100%. And even the TV money that's out there.
Oh my.
It's crazy, man.
It really is. It
Yeah.
really is. So,
Yeah.
so the bottom line as far as today, I'm thinking, man, buy a business on sale. And again, it may be something we want to consider, is even online. I think there are opportunities. I think somebody might have built up a following online. I hadn't studied that quite enough, where they built it up and they may want to sell their brand / their business. So I think there are a lot of possibilities there also.
Agreed. You make a great point. A great point about that. Never even looked at it that way. Cool. Well, that wraps up episode 49.
49.
Buying the Business on Sale. I'm your host, Council Glenn.
And don't forget, MJ went to Carolina and I'm William B. Thompson.
See you guys on the next one.